My girlfriend announced at her birthday party, "You are the best friend anyone could ask for," while I stood there numb after 5 years acting like her boyfriend. I didn't argue, I just walked away. She never expected me to vanish. I 29M spent 5 years thinking I was in a relationship, but at her birthday party she introduced me as her best friend. Am I delusional? I am sitting in my car outside a Starbucks right now, still trying to process what happened last night. I need outside perspective because I honestly don't know if I am losing my mind or if I have been living in a fantasy for the past 5 years. I have been with Clara for what I thought was a long-term relationship. Though looking back, I realize she never actually confirmed we were dating. We met in college through mutual friends, and I was immediately drawn to her. She is beautiful, funny, and has this way of making you feel like the only person in the room when she wants something from you. For 5 years, I have been doing everything a boyfriend would do. I drive her to the airport at 5 a.m. when she travels for work. I have helped her move apartments 3 times. When her car broke down last year, I lent her mine for 2 weeks. When she couldn't make rent during a rough patch 6 months ago, I covered it without her even asking. Just saw her stressed about it and Venmo'd her $1,200. I buy her birthday gifts, Christmas gifts, and random thinking of you presents. I am the person she calls when she has had a bad day at work. When she was sick with COVID last winter, I brought her soup and groceries and took care of her for a week. We spend time together multiple times a week. We go to movies, try new restaurants, take weekend trips. I have met her entire family. Her parents love me and always ask when we are getting married. I have been to every important event in her life for 5 years. But here is where it gets confusing. Clara has never explicitly said we are dating. When people ask about our relationship status, she gives vague answers like Daniel is the most important person in my life, or we have something special. When I have brought up making things official, she says she is not ready to put labels on things yet, and that she doesn't want to ruin what we have. I always believed her. I figured she needed time to work through whatever was holding her back. And that if I just continued being patient and supportive, she would eventually be ready to commit. My friend James has been telling me for years that I am in the friend zone, but I always dismissed him. How could someone in the friend zone do boyfriend things like pay rent and take care of someone when they are sick? Clara and I have intimacy. We hold hands. We cuddle during movies. She stays over at my place sometimes, though we don't sleep together, which she says is because she wants our first time to be special. Last night was Clara's 28th birthday party. I spent weeks planning it with her, helped her pick out decorations, and paid for most of the catering. I was excited because I thought this might be the night she would finally acknowledge our relationship publicly. About 20 people came, coworkers, college friends, her family. I was in the kitchen refilling drinks when Clara stood up to make a toast. "I just want to thank everyone for being here tonight," she said. "But especially, I want to thank Daniel." She looked right at me and smiled. Daniel is the best friend anyone could ask for. He is loyal, generous, and always there when I need him. I am so grateful to have him in my life. Everyone clapped and said, "Oblu," like it was sweet. I felt like someone had punched me in the chest. Best friend. After 5 years of relationship behavior, she introduced me to a room full of people as her best friend. I went through the motions for the rest of the party, but I felt numb. When people left, Clara hugged me and said, "Thank you for making tonight perfect. You always take such good care of me." I drove home in complete silence. I keep replaying the moment over and over. The way she said best friend so naturally, like that is obviously what I am. The way everyone nodded like it made perfect sense. I am starting to wonder if I have been living in a delusion. Have I created an entire relationship in my head? Are all the things I thought were romantic gestures just friendship when she holds my hand? Is that platonic? When she says I am the most important person in her life, does that mean friend important, not boyfriend important? But how is that possible? What friend pays their friend's rent? What friend spends 5 years being someone's primary emotional support and physical caretaker? What friend's parents ask when the wedding is? I feel like I have been transported to an alternate universe where 5 years of my life mean something completely different than I thought they did. James texted me today asking how the party went. I told him what happened. And his response was just, "Dude, I am sorry, but I tried to warn you." Maybe he is right. Maybe I have been in denial this whole time. But if that is true, what the hell have I been doing with my life? I need honest feedback here. Am I crazy for thinking we were in a relationship? Is this normal friend behavior? Or have I been getting played for 5 years? Edit. A lot of people are asking about physical intimacy. We have kissed a few times, but Clara always stops it from going further, saying she wants to take things slow and that physical stuff complicates relationships. I always respected that and figured it meant we would get there eventually. Edit 2. Someone asked about her dating other people. I have never seen evidence of it, but now that I think about it, there have been times where she was vague about her plans or who she was with. I never questioned it because I trusted her. Update 1. It has been 2 weeks since Clara's birthday party, and I have been doing a lot of soul-searching based on your comments. The overwhelming response was that I have been living in the friend zone for 5 years and refusing to see it. That was hard to accept, but deep down I knew you were all right. So I decided to conduct an experiment. I stopped doing all the boyfriend things I had been doing and started treating Clara like an actual friend. No more immediate responses to her texts. No more dropping everything when she calls. No more spontaneous gifts or gestures. No more being available 24/7 to solve her problems. The results have been illuminating. Day 3. Clara texted asking if I could drive her to a work event because her Uber was going to be expensive. I said I was busy. She sent 3 follow-up texts asking what I was busy with and if I could reschedule. Day 5, she called crying because she had a fight with her boss. Normally, I would have rushed over with ice cream and spent hours listening to her vent. Instead, I said that sounded frustrating and suggested she talk to her other friends about it. She seemed genuinely shocked that I wasn't coming over. Day 7, she texted asking if I wanted to see a movie. I said sure, but when she suggested I pick her up, I told her I would meet her there. She asked why I was being weird about driving. Day 10, her kitchen faucet started leaking. She called asking if I could come fix it. I am an engineer, and I have fixed things at her place before. I told her she should call a plumber. She said, "But you always help me with this stuff." I said, "I think you should handle your own home repairs." Yesterday was day 14, and Clara showed up at my apartment unannounced. She looked upset and confused. "What is going on with you?" she asked. "You have been acting so distant lately. Did I do something wrong?" I told her I had been thinking about our relationship and trying to understand what we actually are to each other. "We are best friends," she said. Like it was obvious. "We have always been best friends." "Right," I said. "So I am treating you like a friend now, instead of like a boyfriend." She looked genuinely confused. "What do you mean?" "I mean, I have been acting like your boyfriend for 5 years. Clara, paying your bills, being your emotional support system, being available whenever you need anything. But you made it clear at your party that I am just your friend. That is not. I didn't mean." She struggled to find words. "You are my best friend. That is not a bad thing." "It is not a bad thing," I agreed. "But it is also not what I thought we were." She sat down on my couch and looked at me like I was speaking a foreign language. "I don't understand why you are pulling away from me," she said. "We have something good. Why do you want to change it?" "Because I want to be with someone who sees me as a romantic partner, not a service provider." That seemed to hit her wrong. She got defensive and said I was being unfair, that she had never asked me to do all those things for her. Which is technically true. I volunteered for all of it because I thought I was being a good boyfriend. But then she said something that really opened my eyes. "You have always been so good to me, Daniel. No one else takes care of me the way you do. I don't want to lose that. Not I don't want to lose you. Not I love you and want to work this out. I don't want to lose that. Like I am a service she subscribes to." After she left, I called James and told him about the conversation. He was quiet for a minute, then said, "Dude, she is panicking because her emotional ATM just started setting boundaries. She doesn't miss you as a person. She misses what you do for her." I think he is right. When I look back at our 5-year history, I realize Clara has always had other guys around for the romantic stuff. There was Derek in year 2, who she went on casual dates with. There was Michael in year 3, who she had a brief thing with. There was Alex last year, who she said she was exploring something with. But whenever those guys disappointed her or things didn't work out, she would come to me for comfort, support, and stability. I was the constant, the reliable one who picked up the pieces and made everything better. I was never her first choice for romance. I was her first choice for labor. The realization is devastating, but also clarifying. For the first time in 5 years, I can see the situation clearly. I am not sure what my next move is, but I know I cannot go back to the way things were. Edit. A lot of people are asking why I never made a move, or tried to escalate things physically. The honest answer is that I was scared of ruining what we had, and Clara always had reasons why the timing wasn't right. I see now that the timing was never going to be right. Edit 2. Someone asked if Clara is dating anyone now. I don't know, but given her pattern, I assume she has probably got someone else lined up for the romance part while expecting me to handle the support part. Update 2. It has been a month since I started pulling back from Clara, and the situation has completely exploded. Her reaction to losing her personal support system has been telling. For the past 2 weeks, she has been escalating her attempts to get me back in line. The calls and texts started coming daily, then multiple times, per Dalton Y. When I didn't respond immediately, she'd call from different numbers or get mutual friends to check on me. The messages have been a masterclass in manipulation. I am really struggling right now and I need my best friend. I don't understand why you are abandoning me when I need you most. This isn't like you, Daniel. You have always been there for me. But the one that really got me was, I am scared. I am losing the most important person in my life. Notice what is missing from all of these. Any acknowledgement of how I might be feeling. Any recognition that I might have needs too. It is all about what she is losing, what she needs, how my boundaries are affecting her. Last Tuesday, she showed up at my work. She was crying and said she was worried about me because I was acting so different. She asked if we could grab lunch to talk, against my better judgment. I agreed. We went to a quiet restaurant, and Clara immediately started talking about how confused she was by my behavior. She said our friendship had always been perfect and she didn't understand why I wanted to change it. I just feel like you don't care about me anymore, she said, tearing up. You used to be so thoughtful, so attentive. Now I feel like I don't matter to you. I asked her what she meant by thoughtful and attentive. You know, you used to remember things that were important to me. You would bring me coffee when you knew I was having a hard day. You would help me with things without me having to ask. You made me feel special. So you miss the things I did for you. I miss feeling like someone cared about me that much. I pushed a little harder. What about what I might need from a relationship? Clara, she looked genuinely puzzled. What do you mean? What do you think I was getting out of our arrangement? Arrangement. She seemed offended by the word choice. We are friends, Daniel. Best friends. I thought you were happy. Happy doing what? Being your driver, your handyman, your emotional support animal? She got quiet and defensive. I never asked you to do those things. You are right, you never asked. But you always accepted, and you never offered anything in return. I offered my friendship. What does your friendship actually look like? Clara, what do you do for me? The question seemed to completely stump her. She sat there for a long moment, clearly trying to think of examples. Finally, she said, I listen when you need to talk. When was the last time I called you with a problem? Another long pause. I don't remember. You never seem to have problems. Everyone has problems, Clara. You just never asked about mine. That is when she said the thing that made everything crystal clear. But that is what I love about you. You are so stable and reliable. You don't need anything from me. You just take care of things. There it was. The truth she had been dancing around for 5 years. She loved that I didn't need anything from her. She loved that our entire dynamic was one way I give. She takes, and she never has to worry about reciprocating because I am just happy to help. I wasn't her boyfriend or even really her friend. I was her unpaid personal assistant who occasionally got to hold her hand. Clara, I said, do you have any romantic feelings for me at all? She looked uncomfortable. Our relationship is more important than romance. It is deeper than that. That is not an answer. Why does it matter? We have something special. It matters because I have been in love with you for 5 years. And I need to know if there is any chance you will ever feel the same way. She was quiet for a very long time. When she finally spoke, her voice was small. "I don't think of you that way, Daniel. I never have. You are like family to me." Family, the final insult. After 5 years of boyfriend behavior, I was family. But then she kept talking, and it got even worse. "I know you care about me, and I care about you too. But in a different way. Cannot that be enough? Why does everything have to change? We were happy before. You were happy before." I was delusional. She reached across the table and grabbed my hand. "Please don't do this. I need you in my life. No one else treats me the way you do." "I know," I said, pulling my hand back. "That is the problem." I paid for lunch and left her sitting there. When I got home, I had 7 text messages from her, including, "You have changed so much. The old Daniel wouldn't have been so cruel to me. I don't know who you are anymore." She was right. The old Daniel wouldn't have been cruel enough to set boundaries. The old Daniel would have apologized for making her uncomfortable and gone right back to being her personal servant. But I am not the old Daniel anymore, edit. People are asking if I am going to cut contact completely. I am strongly considering it. This conversation showed me that she is genuinely incapable of seeing me as anything other than a resource. Edit 2. Several commenters have pointed out that her saying "no one else treats me the way you do" is basically an admission that she knows she has been taking advantage of me. That hit home hard. Final update. I sent Clara one final message yesterday morning. "Clara, I have realized something important over the past few months. We were never in a relationship. We were never even really friends. I was your unpaid support staff, and you were someone who was comfortable taking everything I offered while giving nothing meaningful in return. I don't blame you for accepting what I freely gave, but I also cannot continue this dynamic. I wish you well, but we will not be speaking anymore." Then I blocked her number, blocked her on all social media, and blocked her email address. Within hours, she was trying to reach me through mutual friends. James said she called him crying, asking him to talk sense into me. She told him I was having some kind of breakdown and throwing away years of friendship over nothing. James, bless him, told her exactly what he thought of her behavior over the past 5 years. He said she looked genuinely shocked that anyone would call her out for using me. My coworker Rachel, who Clara somehow found on LinkedIn, said Clara messaged her asking for my work email because Daniel blocked me everywhere, and I need to make sure he is okay. The desperation would be flattering if it weren't so obviously about losing her support system rather than losing me, but the most telling response came through my neighbor, who Clara apparently tracked down because she had seen us talking in the hallway. Clara asked her to give me a note. The note said, "I know you are angry, but please don't let pride ruin the best thing in both our lives. I am willing to compromise on things if you will, just talk to me. Compromise on things." After 5 years of me giving everything and her giving nothing, she is willing to compromise. The note made me realize how completely she still doesn't understand the situation. She thinks this is a negotiation where she can offer the bare minimum to get her full-service friendship back. But I am done negotiating for basic respect and reciprocity. I have started therapy to figure out how I ended up in that dynamic, and to make sure I don't repeat it. My therapist said something interesting. People will treat you exactly as well as you require them to. If you require nothing, that is what you will get. I required nothing from Clara for 5 years, so that is what I got. The good news is that removing her from my life has been incredibly freeing. I didn't realize how much mental and emotional energy I was spending on managing her needs and problems. Without that drain, I have more time and energy for my own life. I have been hanging out with friends I had neglected while I was busy being Clara's assistant. I have been pursuing hobbies I would put on the back burner. I even went on a date last weekend with someone who seemed genuinely interested in getting to know me as a person, not as a service provider. Looking back, I don't regret caring about Clara or trying to be good to her, but I do regret not recognizing the difference between being generous and being used. Real relationships require reciprocity. Real love involves seeing the other person as a complete human being with their own needs and wants, not just as a resource to be managed. Clara never saw me as a complete person. She saw me as a collection of useful functions: driver, handyman, ATM, therapist, cheerleader. When I stopped performing those functions, she had no interest in me at all. That hurts, but it is also liberating. I spent 5 years trying to earn love from someone who was incapable of seeing me as worthy of love. Now I can spend my energy on people who do. 3 days ago, I accepted a job offer in Portland. It is a great opportunity, but honestly, the main appeal is starting fresh. Somewhere Clara cannot track me down through random acquaintances. I am not running away from her. I am running towards something better. I am 29 years old, and I am finally learning what I am worth. It feels incredible. Edit. Clara found this post. She sent me a long email through a mutual friend explaining her side of the story and asking me to take it down because it makes her look bad. The email proved she still doesn't understand that the problem wasn't miscommunication. It was that she never valued me as a person. I am not taking anything down. This is my story to tell. Edit 2. Update on the Portland move. I start my new job in 2 weeks. Several people have asked if I am worried about finding someone new. Honestly, I am more excited about finding myself than finding someone else. For the first time in years, I feel like I know who I am when I am not defined by what I can do for someone else. Edit 3. Mike texted me yesterday with some news about Clara. Apparently she has been trying to date, but it is not going well. She went out with a few guys but got frustrated when they didn't immediately start doing the kind of things I used to do for her. Covering her expenses, being available 24/7, prioritizing her schedule over their own. One guy she dated for a month told Mike's girlfriend that Clara seemed to expect boyfriend-level treatment from day one without offering much in return. I guess it is harder to find a replacement for free full service than she thought it would be.